Last time on Delightful Travelers, we visited the crazy Sunday night market in Old Town Phuket. The street food was delicious and let's just say, unique. In this video, we're headed to Krabi to visit one of the most beautiful places in Thailand, Railay Beach. This place is heaven on earth and you're about to see why.
I'm Anna and this is Trevor. In this series, we're finally experiencing one of our bucket list dreams, living in Thailand. Make sure to hit subscribe and click the like button so you don't miss a single video. A huge thanks to our channel members and patrons for making these videos possible. Welcome to Railay Beach.
I'm on my way now.
Well, today we just might be standing in one of the most beautiful locations we've ever been in.
Well, we are not in Phuket anymore. We've come over to Krabi and we're in an area called Railay. It's absolutely stunning. But throughout the course of the video, we're going to be talking about what we've liked about living in Thailand. Just our general thoughts, I suppose, and what we liked and what we didn't like.
First off, we have to thank you guys for recommending Krabi. We knew this place is pretty special coming in, but so many of you left comments saying this is one of the most beautiful places in all of Thailand. That is wild. Now, we are on a beach right now in Railay called Phra Nang, or Phra Nang, I'm not sure of the exact pronunciation. This place is over the top special, and beaches are one of the things we really want to talk about today because there's no shortage of them in Thailand.
So if you've been following along, you'd already know that we haven't really had the best weather while we've been here in Thailand. We are in high season, kind of at the end of rainy season into high season, but it's not been good at all. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we're talking about our pros and cons of being here, but we've definitely got some good beach days in. Thankfully, we had, a few good days here and there and we really took advantage of it. And that's the thing about Thailand is that it's known for its amazing beaches. I mean, it's one of the top beach destinations in the entire world, and can you see why?
So for those of you that do not know, we spent the last month and some living in Phuket, and it was amazing, but the weather didn't cooperate, but we still got up to some things.
Yeah, basically whenever the weather was good, we tried to go to as many beaches as possible. We did some island hopping, went to some local beaches, we went to some different towns and saw some really crazy busy beaches. So we tried to do as much as we could.
And even though those beaches were spectacular, nothing comes close to this. We are just surrounded by these enormous limestone cliffs and turquoise water with white sand everywhere you look. We knew it was going to be amazing here, but not this good.
We've been to some pretty amazing beaches around the world and a few different places that have pretty amazing limestone cliffs as well. Kind of reminds us, a little bit of like in the Dominican Republic, we went on some epic day trips. One where we actually lost our drone, I think, because of the interference with these crazy types of cliffs. So it kind of reminds us a little bit of like Halong Bay in Vietnam, but they don't really have the beaches there, they just have the crazy cliffs. But I think most it reminds us of El Nido in the Philippines. If you're somewhat new around here, you might not know that during the pandemic, we got stuck there for 4 months. So we spent a significant amount of time there.
And those of you might also know that we spent a significant amount of time in El Nido with another couple. Not just our friends, some very special friends, some other fellow YouTubers that we haven't seen since then. It's been how long?
2.5 years.
Guess what?
2.5 years.
We're about to see them. Before we meet up with our friends, we just wanted to say a huge thanks to this week's sponsor, Nido.
Nido's plastic-free deodorant now comes in a new and improved package. They use the same formula as their regular deodorant, but with much more sustainable packaging. You save 37 grams of single-use plastic with every plastic-free deodorant purchase.
But on top of that, it's not sticky and feels dry while applying. There's a big range of choices with new limited edition and sensitive scents being released all the time. For January, they just launched their Candy Shop collection.
This time around, I'm trying out one of their sensitive scents. This one is aloe and green tea. Oh, it's so fresh and so light. I love this scent. Also, all of their sensitive scents are vegan and baking soda free.
So, this is made from coconut oil and magnesium oxide, and it has up to 72 hours of odor protection. And get this, magnesium oxide is derived from the Dead Sea. In fact, all of their scents are aluminum-free, paraben-free, vegan and cruelty-free, and are made with simple ingredients like coconut oil and shea butter.
3 plastic-free deodorants would normally cost you $39, but with our link and code DELIGHTFUL3, you get them for $26. That's 33% off.
And with our code, you can save 20% off body wash and lotion. A huge thanks to Nido for sponsoring this video and supporting creators like us. Now, back to the vlog. All right, are you guys ready to see who it is? I think some of them know.
Surprise! guys! Hello!
It's Chris and Carol, Jumping Places.
Jumping Places.
I bet they
so-
already guessed.
They probably guessed.
Anytime we meet up with other YouTubers and we say, you know, ask them to guess, they always guess Jumping Places.
They
so
do.
this time you guys were right if that's what you guessed.
So I think let's just do a group hug. The last time we saw them was a group hug.
we did it.
We did it. So
Finally!
finally.
I think every week we get asked, when are you meeting Delightful?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Here we are.
Finally.
2 years later.
What do we have, like a week together?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think so. Going around here.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Similar to where we were last time.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
very.
It's like we probably picked the most similar places in the world.
That wasn't intentional.
No, it was not.
We're beach bums, let's face it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. There's all these rock climbers climbing up these cliffs. It's absolutely insane to me.
But a lot of people come to Railay to specifically climb these crazy cliffs.
Crazy rocks. But what is this over here? All right. Well, this is something.
This is one of the more interesting things we've ever seen on a beach. There are a bunch of caves around here. This one, there's 2 of them here, is a shrine, I think, to fertility. You guys can sort of see what's around.
It's a penis cave. We can just say that. I think it's okay to say that word.
Hopefully we don't get demonetized for saying that. I hope not.
But yeah, you can see all these. Well, I don't know what the plural is. Peni?
Wooden. Good question.
Peni?
Wooden penises? Peni? I honestly can't get over these cliffs. They're actually dripping a little bit. There's like water coming out of them, but they're also looming above us. They're so like domineering and just crazy looking. Hopefully no big pieces like fall off onto us.
But we do need to talk about another topic, and that is the weather. We've talked about it a lot, but
We have talked about it a lot, but it's been like kind of big overarching thing of our time here. We expected to come in high season and get good weather. Usually what we hear is at the end of October, start of November is when high season starts, and usually the weather is really, really good. People have told us the last few years it seems to like push up. Basically the wet season is pushing into November, and this year into December. I don't know if that's going to become a regular thing or not. Like we're well into December as we film this, and it's a little bit better here in Krabi, but it's still, as you can probably see, overcast. You never know when it's going to rain. Sometimes it just randomly starts to rain. It seems like typical wet season stuff to us, but it's supposed to be nice and sunny.
So if we're being completely honest, the weather has been the most disappointing part about our time here in Thailand so far. It is unfortunate. We didn't get to do all the things we wanted to in Phuket, and we were here for well over a month, but that's okay. We're still having an amazing time in the country, and on rainy days, we're still having a lot of fun. Water's feeling a little bit chilly, surprisingly.
I don't know if I'd say chilly, but compared to Phuket, which was basically like bath water, it's slightly cooler, but it's definitely refreshing because it's hot.
I know, this actually is a good angle for the cliffs, and the GoPro kind of picks it up a little better. Look at this, you guys. Like, I can't even capture it all. There is cliffs everywhere. You can see these islands off in the distance. It's so amazing here.
Amazing. It's epic.
One thing we're really happy about is the decision we made to come to the south of Thailand, because we were this close to going to Chiang Mai, and we still want to go to the north and see Chiang Mai. Don't worry, and we'll probably do that at some point. But coming to the south is exactly what we needed. This is just over the top. There's not too many places on this planet that look like this. I mean, you guys, the sun isn't even out at the moment, and this is still over the top. We just can't stop talking about what we're looking at all the time here in Thailand.
So you guys know we've been trying to like really slow travel and just stay in a place for a while and get to sort of get a feel for it. We even find a month now, it doesn't feel like long enough.
And we're loving it, clearly.
Yeah. But these guys jump around a lot.
That's why we have the channel name.
They jump places. Jumping places.
Yeah, so we usually do like 4 or 5 nights in each place. We've never done like you guys where it's a month.
Would you ever think about it?
Yeah, we're
like
actually
slow.
planning to do that in maybe February, so we're still not sure where we're going to be, but we want to stay for a month. Like
Yeah, I
you
just
guys
find it
do.
so, I don't think I could do it anymore, like 4 or 5 days. It's like after 2 weeks, I'm like, let's settle down, let's
Yeah.
We
slow.
now we seem to do it for like a month or so at a time, but then in between places we
Yeah.
jump around, like jump places, every like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
it's
so we'll
kinda
spend
similar.
like a month somewhere and then a few weeks like going to a bunch of different places and then spend another month somewhere.
But now that you've gotten used to like doing a month, probably if you do a shorter thing, it just seems way too quick.
Well, even
right?
a month doesn't seem like
Even here,
long enough.
like 6 days here, I could live here for a month. This is awesome. The pathway to get to that beach is just crazy, you guys. Look at the rocks. Like, look at this. I don't even know if you can see them. I have to put the camera down like really, really low. Huh?
But when you're in town, it kind of, when you look over in this direction, it just looks like it's all cliffs. So we actually thought maybe we'd have to like hike up something, but no, it's all like, it's a paved
Look
walkway.
at this stuff. It's everywhere you walk. Well, there's a lot of people down here. Also on the way here there was monkeys, so we're hoping we can kind of catch some monkeys. Not literally catch them, just catch them on camera. Well, we found them.
There are a lot of monkeys around here. They seem to be in various places. Generally seems to be when there's less people, but there are quite a few people walking through here, but you're gonna see them up there.
This guy's super brave. He's just kind of hanging out, checking everybody out. Don't see this too often.
Yeah, I think he's looking for some bananas or something to steal.
Do you have a banana, Carol?
No, nothing
You?
here.
There's a sign back there that says, "Don't feed the monkeys."
Ah, you're being very brave. I'm surprised they're not grabbing your GoPro.
You just don't look at them in the eye. If you do eye contact, you're screwed.
We've just come out now to the east side of Railay Beach. So basically the way Railay works is there's a beach on one side, and then across the way, once you go through town, which we're about to do, there's another beach. Of course, you just saw the beach we were at, so there's so much to do here. I can't wait to show them town, huh?
I know, it's a really neat town. So I don't know if you explain kind of the lay of the land. It actually feels like an island here, even though we
Does.
are on the mainland. You just can't access, because of the cliffs that are around us, you can't access it by land. You have to come by boat. There's no cars or anything here.
I know. So that's why there's all these boats, and there's extra people here right now because some of them come for day tours.
A lot of people come for day tours.
Yeah, and they all leave at night, and then it kind of quiets out. And we're staying here, so it's pretty cool.
Speaking of boats, that is how you get here. It's the only way to get here since there are no roads in and out. And once you're here, you're on your feet. Maybe you could get a bike, perhaps, but most people just walk around. The town itself is very, very small, so very, very walkable as well. So let's discuss transportation in general. There is lots of public transport here in Thailand. It's probably your cheapest option. You can hire taxis. We found Grab to actually be quite expensive, more so than even taxis. So be aware of that. We actually found it was a lot easier and cheaper to get a taxi.
There's no doubt, though, that scooters are king. Not just in Thailand, but like all of Southeast Asia. Not where we're at right now, though.
Yeah, nothing motorized here. which is
Everyone's
really cool.
on foot. But if you're wondering where we are, we're in kind of like the main, I guess I would call it like the main footpath where all the restaurants are.
Yeah, this is where everybody goes to eat. I think I'd say the majority, other than the hotels, the restaurants are
Yeah.
along here, so this is definitely where you end up if you're coming to Railay.
Cool. There's tons of restaurants. There's lots of little shops to buy things. You can buy clothing. You can buy jewelry. It's got everything you
You
need.
can book your tour as well.
It really doesn't seem like there's a lot of people here, huh?
I know, and I wondered, today is a Friday that we are filming. We got here a couple days ago. It hasn't been too busy. I wondered if it's going to get busier for the weekend, just like people that live in Thailand coming for the weekends. We'll see.
We're not
But
sure.
right now, it's not bad.
I know, it's cool. Look, you got these like little stands. You can get coconuts. There's these kind of like Rasta, like Jamaican bars.
Yeah,
I
there's a
guess.
lot of them around. It seems to be really, really common here. Definitely come alive a little bit more at night, but we're usually not out late, so imagine once we head back in, it gets a little bit livelier. But it has been really, really quiet, and it's a nice thing we've really enjoyed about Thailand so far. Because I don't know if like tourism is entirely picked up, but the nice thing in Phuket, we stayed in Rawai, it was pretty quiet, but then you can get busier places like Patong, and here hasn't been busy at all.
So Chris and Carol just headed back over to their beach. It's called Tunsai Beach. So make sure to check their video out. They'll have one. You'll see a bit more of that beach and a little bit of today. And we're hoping to get out with them one more time while we're here. So we'll see. But we're coming up on the main beach here in Railay now. It just kind of keeps getting better and better and better, you guys. Look at the white sand. Again, these enormous limestone cliffs, huh?
Yeah, so this is Railay Beach West. So this is the west side. Before we showed you the east side. It really is like one little area, beaches on, or like water on each side, and then cliffs on the other two sides. It's really not a big area, very, very walkable, like we said before. It's kind of hotels on one side, then we have that walking street, and then you just have another cliff over there, and I think where Chris and Carol are staying is just beyond that cliff there.
It's like the second cliff over. How about these boats though, you guys? So we mentioned that you can do island hopping tours from here. These are what you normally would take. These are the long tail boats. You can also hire a speedboat. So fingers crossed, again, hoping for good weather. We might get out to one of the islands. I know there's the famous PP Islands are here, but there's also so many other islands, like Hong Island sounds very attractive to us. But I need to bring up one thing. So far, Railay Beach, you've been part of my travel gear, and I'll explain why. First, I broke my suitcase. My luggage that we travel around with is busted. I'm not sure what we're gonna do because there's nowhere I can buy any luggage at the moment. Also, the scenes earlier, I broke the GoPro. The GoPro is broken. I mean, I didn't do it. Somehow water got inside of it and it almost blew up. Basically, it overheated and it's all burnt marks. The battery is gone. So now we're down one GoPro and down a suitcase.
So one of the must-do things here is to catch the sunset. You probably heard me say we're on the west side. So supposedly there are amazing sunsets. I've seen some videos and photos where the sky is just super cotton candy. Last couple of nights it's been really cloudy, so it hasn't been the most epic sunsets. So I think now the plan is we're gonna take a little bit of a break, go relax, maybe get some work done for a little while, then come back out for sunset, and fingers crossed, it will be a good one.
Well, we found a great little spot here to have a beer and wait for the sun to go down. Just know that there's not a lot of like restaurants right here on the beach where you can kind of wait for that to happen if you want to get a beer. There's the main street we showed you earlier, but at the end of the main street there's only two kind of little places you can go. Then there's a few hotels, but some of the hotels don't have alcohol, so know that. Most people just sit on the beach, bring their own drinks, and they wait for the sun. But I think it's time we talk about safety. You guys asked us just in general, did we feel safe in Thailand this whole time, all the way from Bangkok, all the way down to Phuket? And know that we most times feel safe anywhere we travel in the world, but here it feels extra safe. So if you're worried about that, don't be. There's a whole different level of respect when it comes to Thai people in general. We just feel safe as tourists. They treat foreigners with respect, and I think that's a lot of Asians in general are like that. So if you're ever concerned about that, don't be. We're having a great time in this country, as you can see. It just keeps getting better wherever we go, and now I think the main event's about to happen. Well, that was a spectacular sunset. We know it can be better here in Railay, but it's still amazing to see. Now it's dark out. You can see all the lights in the town. We're on the hunt for something special.
I don't think we can do a video talking about how much we've enjoyed or the things that we've liked about living in Thailand and not talk about Thai food and how delicious it is. So maybe we go find somewhere to eat.
The place we chose is called Local Thai Food. I love the name. Look at this. We got some massaman curry. Can't wait to eat it. And then kind of like a yellow spicy noodle dish, and we're so excited to eat this. We already said this has been the one thing that has not disappointed us at all in Thailand. The food just keeps knocking it out of the park here. We absolutely love it. Let's dig into this.
So first off, I want to try this massaman curry. One of my favorites. It's not overly spicy, and I do tend to gravitate towards spicier things, but this is one of my favorites in terms of non-spicy curries. It's usually really rich, very curry forward. That sounds like a weird thing to say. Kind of peanutty. We got chicken in there. I see some potatoes, peanuts, onions. It just sounds really like rich and hearty.
It's loud in the background. A lot happening.
And that is absolutely incredible. It doesn't disappoint. Basically everything I just said about it being really rich, really flavorful, but it's not too spicy. So this is the way to go if you want to come to Thailand. You want to try a really, really flavorful, yummy curry without the spice. It's so good.
All right, I'm going for this spicy noodle dish. Look at all the veggies on here, you guys. I think that's zucchini. There's some tofu, red pepper. I think there's a carrot on here as well. This is what we come to Thailand for. This is superb. He asked us how spicy we want the spicy noodles to be. When we were frank with him, we said we like spice, like a lot. You guys know, you watch this, we like it. However, we said to him, we don't want 100% spicy like you would have it, but way more than anybody else, any other tourist that's in this place. And he said like 80%, and we said, yeah, I would say this is a solid 80%. It's spicy, first bite was spicy. By the time we're done with this, I'm gonna be sweating, I'm gonna have sweat under my eyelids, but it's so good. I love that we have chicken, massaman in one, that it's like a smooth, creamy, really good. And then this one, hot, peppery, lots of veggies, lots of crunch. Can't beat food in Thailand, you guys. You just cannot beat the food in Thailand. Well, what a day this was. Being in Railay Beach has been one of our ultimate goals of travel for a long time, and we made it here and it did not disappoint.
I know, and so many people recommended us. And as we are posting, or as we're here and we're posting Instagram stories, also seeing a lot of people saying, oh, that's my favorite place in Thailand. So it's a very popular, loved place.
Do you get why? I mean,
yeah, I
I
totally understand now that we're here. It's beautiful. I love that Thailand has this. It's just magical.
And to be honest, the best part of the day isn't just the great location we're in. We got to get back, reunited with our good friends Jumping Places. We've talked to them for so long over the past 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And the gang's back together. What a day it's
Finally,
been.
we've been trying, like seriously trying to get, it's not like we haven't tried, we're always in contact with each other and it just never works out, and it finally did.
So we think we're going to have another video with if the weather holds. We're going to go out and do some fun things. That is the plan at the moment. If it doesn't, you'll probably see us somewhere else. We're not quite sure yet. Probably back in Bangkok, but this has been such a great day. But back to the topic of the video.
Yeah, so do we love or like living here? In general, it's been amazing. Unfortunately, the weather has just been,
Yeah.
I hate harping on about the weather, but it's just been such a downer.
It has
so
been.
unpredictable, so hard to plan everything. If the weather had been perfect, we would be so in love with this place.
Yeah, we have to be honest. Like, you know, sometimes you guys are saying to us, like, you just show the highlight reels, and sometimes you're like, just be honest about things, and we are. Like, the weather has been the pits, we'll call it that. If I were you guys and you were coming next year, I would probably come anywhere from like mid-December and on. That seems to be what the locals are saying now, but it was not supposed to be rainy
It's
season.
mid-December now as we film this, late December even, and
It's still a little better.
So maybe January, February will be wonderful.
But everything else has made up for it. Like, honestly, being in Phuket, being in Bangkok, being here, all of the food, the Thai people.
Yeah.
Honestly, all you guys watching, don't think for a moment we don't appreciate each and every one of you watching. Everyone new that picked us up, thank you so much. Everyone that's not new, you guys mean so much to us, especially all the patrons.
Patrons and channel members, you guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for all of your support.
So, I'm going to edit a video now. We're gonna head back home. I need to find a coffee. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Railay, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.